I'm Karl. I'm from Lasnamäe. This is what I told the Scottish as well. And they were like, yes, we have heard that. It's awful. No, it's interesting. Like I told them stories about growing up in Lasnamäe, because growing up in Lasnamäe, I only learned 2 sentences in Russian. The first one was "Извините, не курю," which is "I am sorry, I do not smoke," and the second one was "Пожалуйста, не по морду мне," which is "Please do not hit me in the face." Surprisingly, I had to use both of these in the same conversation. Kindergarten was difficult. And yeah, it's like I told him all the fun stories, because I live in the big, huge, 9-story building as well, old Soviet design. And the problem I have with my home is that I have 4 electrical sockets in my walls, right? 4 electrical sockets. The problem is only one of the sockets works. And the strange thing is that the socket that works isn't always the same socket. It changes. It's perfect Soviet design. Because even if I want to take a fork, put it into the socket to end it all, still Russian roulette. 1 out of 4. I can't take the shower either that well, because I can't choose the water temperature in my apartment, because it chooses itself. Yeah. And the choices it has apparently is, first of all, ice bucket challenge. Secondly, lava. Changes every 2 seconds. So you go there, you spin the wheel, and you're like, oh, okay, this is fine, 2 minutes to go. Oh, at least I don't have to move myself, that's fine. And I've heard people say, you know what's really cool? Having sex under the shower. Not in my apartment. You go there, one nipple's hard, the other's melting. You're like, you don't know if you're coming or dying, you're just like, oh, okay, 2 minutes to go, perfect. I don't have to move myself. Oh, it's fun of last night. How the people are poor as well, perfect. It's fun there, growing up as well. One of the things that happened to me often was I was robbed very often, right? It was almost every year. It was literally to the point for 1st of January every year I could go into the calendar and be like, I think it's going to be April this year. But I'll never forget this one time. I was outside doing my own thing, and I saw this guy come up to me, and I knew he had business with me because he smiled at me with his tooth. And he came up to me, right, and he pulled out a knife. Now, this is quite standard procedure when you're being robbed. Everybody knows what's going on. Someone pulls out a knife, you pull out your wallet. 10 seconds, business transaction complete. But he made it strange, because he pulled out the knife and said hello. Why? You don't need the hello here. Never need to, there's never been a situation where you think, oh, I bet the knife guy's gonna be polite, right? And also, I strongly believe that the hello is already in the movement, right? Never been a situation when someone pulls a knife on the other guy, and the other guy's like, oh, is that for me? No, but he made it even stranger, because he pulled out the knife, said hello, and then he asked me a question. And the question was, do you want to do this in Estonian or Russian? And at that point I realized he wasn't just robbing me, he was providing me with a service. If you want to be robbed in Estonian, press number 4. No refunds. And I saw something near where I was living as well that annoyed me. I was on the bus, and I saw these 4 guys sitting on the bus and playing with a knife, right? And they only had enough money for 1 knife, but that's Lasnamäe. And but the thing that annoyed me was that all of the 4 boys had man buns on. Just a little bun here, everything else was bald, and then just a little ponytail going back here, right? I'm thinking, how do these worlds meet? I wanted to go and ask, guys, what are your hobbies? But I thought the answer would be well, I have 2 hobbies. First of all, organized crime. Secondly, yoga. I'll stab you, but not in the chakras, right? Even if it is a stabbing, it's still namaste. It's just a fun place, right? I'm also single, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen. Been single long enough, don't care anymore. At this point, all I want to do is punish my father, and it's also my Tinder profile, and I still try to meet people, but the problem is I'm naturally creepy. So, yeah, some of you are looking, yes, Carl. No, it is, because I remember I was in this bar and I wanted to introduce myself to this lady, but the words I said to her were, "Hi, my name's Carl. Don't be afraid." I can tell you she was very much afraid. But it worked. We got into a relationship. It was a legal relationship. It was a restraining order, but hey, I take him where I can, right? And I've been actually single now for so long that anytime there's any sort of family gathering, like a Christmas or a birthday or a wedding or whatever, I always get the same questions from my family. It's always like, "Carl, when are you going to get a wife, a dog, a child, anything? Please just move out." And about 3 years ago, during Christmas, I couldn't take it anymore. Like this, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I thought, I'll lie. I'll lie to my family. They won't ask anymore, right? So at the Christmas table in front of my family, I stood up and said, "Hi, family. I'm really glad you've all gathered here. I've got something to tell you. I'm gay." The whole room went silent, right? My dad did what any sort of Estonian father would do in this situation. He took a bottle of vodka, poured himself a shot, started drinking from the bottle. My grandparents were on the sofa like, what does gay mean? Like, congratulations. Did you get bachelor's degree in it? The best of all was my mother, who from the other side of the room looked me in the eyes and went, "Don't worry, son. I've always known." Fair enough, okay. But there's one thing I don't understand about sort of relationships and sex and technology nowadays, and that's dick pics. Like, I don't understand why dick pics exist. Why they're a thing. Guys take a phone, take a picture of the dick and send it to people, right? Why? Like, you do know this does not look good. I don't mean mine specifically. I mean, it is a mess, but I mean generally as well. Like, there's a reason your eyes are so far from it, right? Like, this actually is the reason having sex in the dark was invented. And I say these things, and I'm sure even in this room, there's still a couple of people looking at me and going, "Yeah, Carl, but Carl, you don't realize. You see my dick? My dick's photogenic." No, it's not. Let's do a quick survey, ladies here. Who have received dick pics in the past? Give us a hand. There's a couple in the back here as well. On a 1 to 10, how much was the dick worth the pic? Yeah, I don't even have a number for that. Like, all I saw was no. Just you know, like people come back from war, like from Vietnam flashback, like no numbers, no. Where I came from, there are numbers. I like to ask this. Usually it's like minuses, right? Except once in Tartu. True story. I was in Tartu and a lady said, "Oh, it's a 10. He's sitting next to me right now." For months I thought that's how you meet people in Tartu. So I printed mine out. Went to shooters like, "Hello, ladies. I'm Carl. Don't be afraid." "Oh, well, I'm banned. Okay, I'll go now. That's fine. I'll get times. Okay, let's do a different kind of survey. Guys who have sent dick pics. Okay, there were 100 people in here. Statistically, 120 are lying. I'm sure there's been a couple of ladies who've sent some. Okay. Okay. If you do want to send one in the future, this is my pro tip for you. Don't use a phone. Use an old-style camera with a roll of film in it. And do the whole roll of film full of dick pics. And then go get them developed. Because I think that's a magical moment as a man, as you walk into a photo shop to collect a full film roll full of dick pics. Because all you have to say is, "Hi, I think you know who I am." Thank you, but I've been Carl. Thank you very much.